We've got the Latin Heat side coming out to play against Malta. This is the under-19 side, starting off with number 1 fullback, John Araya Lina. Number 2 wing, Pablo Garcia Crome. Number 3 center, Sebastian Rivero. Number 19 center, Alex Vertisano. Number 5 wing, Albert Matuk. Number 6, 5'8", Andre Armando. Number 7 halfback, David Morrissey. Number 4 prop, Daniel Byrne. Number 14 hooker, Deco Savega. Number 10 prop, Luis Servia. Number 11 second row, Kyle Villagomez. Number 15 second row, Johnny Hill. Number 13 lock, Isaiah Catriel. And number 9 interchange, Dylan Concha Atar. Number 16 interchange, Juan Casanova Campina. Number 17 interchange, Oman Turk. And number 18 interchange, Eddie Velasco. The coach today is Freddie Arteaga, who's assisted by Paco Godinez, the manager Rob Berhin, first aid officer Ernie McClay, and first aid league safe officer Brad Millar.
We'll just go through the Malta team as well. Fullback Mitchell Baragri. On the wings we've got Alex Finnegan and Ryan Zerab. In the centres, Lachlan Chandler and Carlo Cassar. 5'8" is Curtis Gretsch, and 7 is Caleb Savage. 8, Anthony Camilleri. 9, Luke Cherry. 10, Ryan Azzopardi. 11, Josh Agius. 12 is Corey Gatt, and 13, Dylan Williams. As plays underway here, Latin Heat has kicked off and Malta receiving. This is, of course, game number 2. It's the under-19s between Malta and Latin Heat. We had a big win to Malta in the under-16s, which was the game that preceded this one. And as the rain has cleared a little bit, we had a little bit of light rain in between the last game finishing and this game starting. So it'll be interesting to see the style of play that both teams adopt today.
Both sides are more experienced, obviously, than under-16 counterparts. I think in this game here, you're going to see a lot more action and a lot more pizzazz from this Latin Heat side. A bit more confidence. As you can see here, stepped away, made a little bit of a shimmy and a shake there. With number 1 fullback, John Haraya Aliva.
As the Latin Heat look to their big men to get them out of trouble here. 20 metres from their own try line. We've got number 14 there playing hooker, which is Dek Uzabaya.
Also good to see Isaiah Catireo out there, number 13 lock. Isaiah actually also played in the World Cup qualifiers for Chile last year alongside Patrick Camano.
The halfback that was taken off the ball there, actually, no, it was the 5'8", in fact, which is number 6 there, Daniel. Have you got the name of the Latin Heat?
Andre. Yes, number 6, Andre Maldonado from Peru.
So he's gone right to the line there. Little short ball. He's been hit late, and so the referee said that'll be a penalty. So Latin Heat with good territory here as they look to use number 19. Do we have a 19 on the paper there? So there has been a few late changes to both lineups, so you'll have to please bear with us as we look to go through our notes and find out who is who in which jumper, so we can give you the most correct information.
Another run there by Isaiah. Always taking that big hit up. Unfortunately, he's lost the ball there, but it's been a penalty called hand in the ball of play there.
It's a quick tap there from Deku Zabega. In 7, David Morrissey acting half. Moves left, finds 13, Isaiah.
Backing up for the second time. He's eager for the ball, this one. Whenever he can get his hands on it, he'll be there to support his team. Number 4, Daniel Byrne taking that run up. Quite a tall character. Obviously a bit of size, bit of speed on him. It's good to see him out there once again.
And we had that positional change with number 4. In fact, Daniel Byrne, who's was listed to play centre. He's actually playing up front as prop, as we've had that late change to the lineup. Villagomez with the offload at the back, but it looks like it must have Gone through 2 sets of hands here. And the call is a knock-on by the Latin Heat. And we'll have a scrum feed to Malta. 10 metres in.
Number 11. Yeah, number 11, Villa Gomez, actually is actually right now playing in the Melbourne development squad. So he's playing with high rep honours at the moment, and I think today we're going to see a lot more of him and him taking control of the actual game here for his teammates.
Yeah, he's in fact studying exercise science at the moment, Villa Gomez, and he's in, as you said, he's in the Storm's development system there. So it'll be interesting to see what the future holds for him. So with the rain-making conditions a little bit difficult, we've had a succession of knock-ons here, handling errors, and so we'll have another scrum. This time it'll be Latin Heat feeding the ball in through their halfback David Morrissey.
Call in the back.
What have we got here? Repack the scrum, please. So we'll have a second chance there. David Morrissey with the scrum feed. Finds a 5/8. Maldonado.
You've got Omar and Turk out on the wing as well, that right side. He's very dangerous. He actually lined up against the game against the Indian Jungle Cats back in October. And yeah, it was quite successful out there that day.
Morrissey finds Byrne. Another strong charge by the centre come prop. As Morrissey feeds out the back. Finds Alina. Croman at acting half. Scooting run. And a loose carry. It seemed like there may have been hands in the ball there, but it was a very difficult angle for the referee to see. And with 3 Maltese defenders in there, the referee said it was a loose carry. Thoughts, Daniel, on that one?
Look, it's a very controversial call there. I actually did see a hand in the ball play there. So the fact that they were called the opposite side, it's sometimes you're just unlucky.
So it's
got the forwards back in the scrum now. Good to see Luis Servia in there. As we mentioned, his younger brother, Tomas, lined up for the under-16s. Luis is obviously a bigger unit, more developed, and it'll be good to see him carry the ball.
Well, if he's anything like his younger brother, he'll be hitting hard today, won't he?
Absolutely.
So defenders lying in the ruck there. The referee said you didn't get out of there quick enough, but it seemed to be, again, another one of those dubious calls. We don't like to harp on too much about the decisions by the men in the middle, but again, it was a loose play of the ball. It was a scrappy play of the ball. To my eye, it looked like it was just a loss of possession there, but the referee said no, there was 2 Latin Heat players in there that are taking too long to get out of there. So a penalty is awarded, a kick for touch, and we'll see Malta march down, crossing into their Latin Heat half. It seems like it may have been touched when it went into touch there, so it will actually be a scrum feed to Malta. So Caleb Savage with the feed. Jinking run there by Lachlan Chandler.
A lot less meters here being made by Malta compared to the last game. Solid tighter defence here from Latin Heat.
Luke Jerry, he comes right, finds Corey Gatt. Gatt with a strong run, but he's manhandled there by David Morrissey, the halfback. Coming right, flat ball to Ryan as a party. He gets the offload away. It was a good little ball, but the referee said it was forward. In fact, actually, we've got a call from the touch judge. I think that's a fair call. Daniel, this is really in line with where we are standing here at the clubhouse. I think it was a fair call. I think it was the right call.
Fair call. I saw that ball pop forward right there. Unfortunate they wanted to send it back, but in the pressures of play, when you're out on the field, these things do happen from time to time.
But it was a good movement there from Luke Jerry in a hooker, finding Ryan as a party at the big number 10. So maybe that's a sign of things to come. As Latin Heat make their way up the field through number 19, who we do not have a name for just yet. So please do be patient as we try to find the name of who is number 19, the mystery man.
We'll just call him the Gun because he's actually having an impact on this game for now.
It appears he's playing on that right edge, either in the centre or wing position there, but he's coming in and getting involved, which is good to see. So let's call him the Gun.
Latin Heat here with a penalty. These Malta boys, they need to understand that they need to get back in line with the ref. Otherwise, this is just going to keep happening all afternoon.
As David Morrissey finds touch 30 metres out from the try line.
So I'm looking to the big forwards, number 13, Asaya coming up, and also Luis coming up to take this run up here. And we've got number 4.
Again, that is
Daniel Byrne. He is one of the forwards. Stepping up from centre today.
Don't be confused by the number 4 on his back. He's playing as a prop. Centre field now through Isaiah Catrileo. Morrissey calling the shots, asking for the ball. He receives. Flat ball there, finds 11. Kyle Villagomez, that's that Storm prospect who's in the development pathways there of the Melbourne Storm. It was a great line. Hits deck. Hooker finds Morrissey again. Grab a kick through, but it's cleaned up by 3. Lachlan Chandler, the centre for Malta. What can you tell us about the Latin Heat halfback, Daniel? David Morrissey, who seems to be defending very strongly for a halfback.
Very strongly indeed. So he's already playing with the Picton men's team, and his younger brother of Latin Heat representative side, Luke Morrissey.
So another one of these family connections that we are often seeing here, which is fantastic to see that the younger brothers following the footsteps,
Absolutely,
getting involved in the Latin Heat pathway.
And it's really good to see number 5 out there, Albert Matuk, on the side on the pitch today, especially as he's come back from a broken leg that he suffered late last year.
Huge hit there, ball and all.
Big hit from Villa Gomez there. Another hit from Isaiah Catrileo. Good tackle there by Albert Matuk. He's from El Salvador. He's actually got Salvadorian heritage, and his 2 brothers, Mikey and Anthony Matuk, actually play for the El Salvador men's side alongside him.
As Curtis Gretsch shapes left, finds a halfback, Savage. Show and go, takes the line on, gets the offload, finds his fullback.
You're finding that Malta's actually coming back to these more riskier plays to try to get some more progress down that left edge.
The grubber kick goes in.
It's a bit risky in this wet weather.
Cleaned up by Morrissey, who's out over the 10. He's 15. He hits the 20-metre line, and he's put down by strong defence there by Azzopardi, the number 10 from Malta. 22 metres upfield through Sebastian Ribeiro. Another strong run there by Kyle Villagomez. Daniel Byrne, strong charge as we approach the halfway line. Latin Heat finding the grass with that kick. Oh, and we've got a knock on there from Malta.
So the gun we were talking about, number 19, is actually Senna Alex Vertisano.
Will we keep calling him the gun, or will we call him...
I think the gun's going to stick,
I think it's going to stick. As Morrissey finds touch. Tap restart, Latin Heat. Just inside the 20.
Jose Catriel right now. Villa Gomez with the ball. Tackled hard by the number 8 from Malta.
He's got good footwork for a big man, doesn't he, Villa Gomez?
He does. You can tell that in the past he may have played out back, and that's where he's picked that up. His size is just putting him through to the forwards.
He's almost a whole foot above the rest of his teammates in terms of height.
Absolutely. I'd like to see how this guy develops over the next few years. He just needs to put that muscle on and you'll see him come back bigger than ever. I reckon he might be the David Clemmer of Latin America.
As Morrissey with the crossfield
Catriel with the ball.
gets the offload
Keeping
away.
it alive, yes.
So that was only tackle number 4, so there's still one more up the sleeve of Latin Heat as they go back to that man, Morrissey, the halfback. Puts in a little grubber kick, but it looks like it'll be too long. In fact, it doesn't. It holds up. It's taken by Malta, but huge defence there by Latin Heat. They get 3 men in there, led by number 4, Daniel Byrne.
That's what you definitely want to see out of your Latin Heat sides. And these guys are setting an example for the junior sides that have just played. A couple years ago, they were in that same position where they were starting to play for the first time and were suffering those heavy losses. And now what you're seeing at the moment is a much more composed, much more confident side. With number 4, Daniel Byrne, taking a run up once again.
Again, little footwork there, beats the first defender, but he's put down by 2 Maltese players. The hand was in there. There was also boots, and the referee said, you've got to get out of there quicker. So, again, another penalty to the Latin Heat. 35 metres from the try line. And it'll be through Dek Uzabaga, who will get the tap restart underway.
Johnny Gill out there at number 15. Can't stop him. He's got a bit of size on him, this kid. Catriero backing up again. He's been on fire today. He can't stop touching that ball. He wants a piece of the action all the time.
Uzabaga comes left to Morrissey. Morrissey with a little grubber kick in. It's cleanly taken by Malta, but another little knock on in the field of play. So we'll have a scrum, head and feed to Latin Heat.
This wet weather really affecting the ball control for Malta at the moment. And the pressure being piled on by Latin Heat just compounds that.
Again, Morrissey looking to find the grass with his kicking options there, choosing the grubber option, making it very difficult, as you say, with the wet weather football for the Maltese fullback, Mitchell Baragri, to pick up that ball. A little fumble, so we'll have another scrum to the Latin Heat.
They're reading the game very well today, playing into these wet weather conditions to make sure that they're in their favour.
And I think having Villa Gomez there outside Morrissey is really making the Maltese defence uneasy. So then when you've got Morrissey who can find the deck with that kick, he's got options, doesn't he?
Definitely. Quite a versatile player. It's dangerous, right? You don't know which way he's going to go, how he's going to step.
As Uzabaga finds Morrissey again, shifts to the right. Good sliding defence from Malta.
It's an overlap on that right side. They should take advantage of it.
They don't. They come back left through 16. Who's on the field now? Juan Casanova Campina. Uzabaga goes for a run himself. Darting run. He's held up by 3 Maltese players and they push him back.
Gotta appreciate the effort he's put through there.
Morrissey again steps off the left. Steps off the right. But he's wrapped up there by 2 Maltese
coming
defenders.
On the 5th. What do you think? They're going to get the grubber play again?
Coming back right. Little grubber from the 5'8" there. It's well picked up by Malta, but there's too many defenders there.
Back-to-back sets. This is going to be painful for Malta.
The patience from the halves, I think, there. Andre Maldonado and David Morrissey in the previous set. Again, just saying, let's build the pressure. We don't need to score off every play. Let's roll the ball in, repeat sets, and we'll score eventually.
That was a good take by number 15, Johnny Gill.
Gill with the strong charge there. Uzabaga's got numbers both sides. He finds 13, Isaiah Catrileo.
So Johnny's actually got Colombian and Ecuadorian heritage in him. He's a tough character from a strong sporting family. So it's good to still see him involved with the Latin Heat team and getting his name out there.
As we see a poor pass there to Morrissey, it was too far behind him. He's reached out and he's knocked the ball on. So see a change of possession here with Malta finally getting their hands on the ball.
Yeah, the pressure's off Malta for a little while here, so I bet you they're thankful for that.
Deco Zabega had done fantastic work in terms of his dummy half service to his halfback up until that point. As if really the first pass, it was a little bit difficult and made Morrissey a little uncomfortable there. So let's hopefully see the passes sticking again from the hooker. As Malta shifts left from the scrum restart. Strong charge there by number 4, Carlo Cassar.
It just done that, Glenn. It's been a little bit quiet today, so I want to actually see him pick up his game. When you consider the fact that he was the highest try scorer for 2 years at his junior club, North Devils Junior, you really want to see a lot more from him and leading the team around the paddock today.
As Malta comes back through Caleb Savage, takes the line on. Coming right. Little show and go. And we see a quick tap here by Malta through Luke Cherry, who beats the first man, runs again. He's wrapped up by Morrissey again, and Deco Zabaga again. Strong defence there by the hooker and the halfback. As 12, Corey Gatt takes the line on himself, beats the first, but they're holding on to his bootlaces, it seems, as
really
they
need to
pull him to the ground. He's 1 metre out, and the referee asks Gatt to go back and play the ball where he was originally held as they come back left through Savage. He gets a long ball to the winger. Finnegan.
That was a line ball right there. It was pretty close to being forward.
As Malta is persevering here. Strong charge from the Maltese forwards. As Luke Cherry comes right, finds Savage, takes the line on again. The halfback, he's not afraid to run. He's not afraid to take the line on whatsoever. As Cherry puts a little grubber kick in, regathers it himself.
And he's 6 again?
Going to be
yes, it is. That's a
pushed
pull.
back into the field of play. The referee signals 6 again. You're right, Daniel. As we come right to Gretsch. Gretsch with numbers. Finds Savage. Savage takes the line on again. Offloads, flick out the back. He finds Mitchell Baragri, who goes over the fullback. Right place, right time. Malta Knights, 4 points.
Channeled a bit of Benji Marshall there, didn't he?
It was good to see, again, the halves linking up rather than being separated on either side of the field. We've got them linking up there. Curtis Gretsch, who was in first receiver there, the 5'8", finding Caleb Savage, the halfback, who took the line on. We've seen that he's not afraid to take the line on whatsoever. He steps off the right, fends with the left, and then flick to the right-hand side, linking up with his fullback, Mitchell Baragri.
So Malta, first points on the board. Sladen Heat side needs to regather themselves, compose themselves, and come out stronger. At the moment, that was the very first time that the defence was actually tested, and it was unfortunate to see it break down in that manner. But those flick passes and those risky moves that Malta Knights do take towards this end of the try line is something that they're going to do more often.
At the start of the game, we saw that Malta was not afraid to get the offloads happening, to be able to, we saw with Azzopardi, he got pulled up on that forward pass off the offload with their first real attacking opportunity. And rather than move away from that play because of the one error, they're persevering with that attacking style, that flair, the offload, the late offload. And the Latin Heat are really going to have to tighten up that goal line defence.
Yep, and we've got who have we got lining up for the kick here at the moment, Sean? Number 7?
It looks like it is 7 Savage, who's coming in. Hits it nicely. And it's straight over the black dot for another 2 points. So the man that picked up the try assist converts the try by Mitchell Baragri, the fullback, and it's 6 points to Malta.
Yep, and Malta's got the wind in their favour at the moment, heading down the field.
Yeah, you're right. It was quite a still day, but in the last probably half an hour, we're seeing that breeze just pick up a little bit. It's left to right on your screens.
Yeah, we just saw the coach, Freddie Arteaga, kick the ball into the field, mate. You should stick to coaching. That kick wasn't very good.
Ouch. As Morrissey looks to get us back underway. Deep kickoff. Taken by Gretsch. He finds a runner. Strong palming by the Maltese forward. As Cherry goes left, finds Savage. Turns the ball underneath. Beats the first player. But he's wrapped up by 3 Latin Heat players as they come back right. Cherry out of dummy half. He's wrapped up ball and all by number 11, Villagomez. As Savage, he takes the line on. He gets the ball around the back of a Latin Heat player, but it is tackle 5, so we'll have a changeover. Thoughts on that play? They decided to run the ball on the last. Savage looking very deadly with the ball in hand when he runs and takes the line on.
They thought they had the field position, and they thought they had Latin Heat on the back foot. It doesn't surprise me that they took it. A bit risky because now they've got the ball back, and Latin Heat's obviously going to try to make a difference here. With number 18, Eddie Velasco taking a run up. So Eddie Velasco is a Salvadorian. He hasn't played for the El Salvador national side yet, but he has been part of the El Salvador team for quite some time. He's worked in building construction compliance. He's small but very strong.
Yeah, despite not being the tallest of players, he's very strong. As Morrissey, hard yards there, the halfback, taking the line on. He really needs his forwards to help him out there. As Uzabega goes for a little darting run himself, crosses over the halfway line. Maldonado feeds the ball to Morrissey, who puts up the high kick. With the glaring sun, the Malta players decide to leave the ball to bounce. It's knocked back, but we look like we've had a second effort there from Malta, indeed. So we've had the first knock on, the first infringement from Malta's number 5, Ryan Cherub.
That was helped by Villagomez, who obviously read that game well, turned his back, and blocked the other Malta players from getting there.
As Morrissey finds the line for the tap restart. The Latin Heat about to cross inside the 10-metre zone. Danger signs for Malta.
Looking forward to seeing how forwards run this ball up. Luis Servilla taking a run up. Hopefully he can get through. Ooh, that was a big hit by Malta.
Big hit on Sevilla by Gretsch. As Uzabega goes right, finds Villagomez.
Trying to send a message to the forwards here. Can't get through me.
Uzabega, he wanted to quick play the ball and he didn't get it. So the referee has blown another penalty. Again, the ill discipline by Malta. Although at this stage, when they're inside the 10-metre line, they're probably not too worried about giving away a penalty. They'd rather give away a penalty than concede points.
Absolutely. But it is going to turn them down if they do it quite a lot.
As Uzabega calling the shots from dummy half. Finds 13. Catroleo. He finds his front row partner, Luis Sevilla. Uzabega with numbers either side. Morrissey wants ball on right, but it goes left. With little grubber kick coming in from Catroleo. It holds up nicely in the in goal. Well taken by Ryan Zereb. But he's wrapped up in his in goal, and so we'll have a goal line dropout and another set of 6 for the Latin Heat.
Yeah, look, it's going to start to take its toll on Malta at this stage. Obviously, so much ball possession to the Latin Heat side. I'm wondering how long they're going to last with this defence. It's been sensational at the moment, keeping them out. But with the big boys such as Isaiah Catareo running this ball out and Villagomez stepping up, it's going to be really hard to manage.
As Morrissey finds Sevilla, the big front rower. He's hit well by Gretsch. Uzabega comes right, finds Villagomez. Loose carry, the referee signals, so it'll be play on Malta Knights.
breather that Malta's craving at the moment. Let's see if the Latin Heat defence can hold up and keep them out from the try line.
Gets past Villagomez and Morrissey, but he's wrapped up by Catroleo as Malta continue to put Latin Heat under pressure.
Can't keep doing that. Loose carry by Malta there.
Change of possession. We've got some substitutes coming on for Malta as well. We've got Ethan Fuentealbo, who's in number 15. Excuse the pronunciations on some of these as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing our best. As we said prior to the game kicking off, we've had some late changes to the team lists. As the Latin Heat.
Pablo Garcia is taking this run up at the moment. Good to see him make some good meters there.
Oh, we've got a little fumble from dummy half, and the referee put whistle the mouth, but he decided against calling it. There's another 50-50 call there, which is going the way of Latin Heat.
They had extra long fingers there.
As Uzabaga finds Morrissey, who gets the kick away.
The chase from Andre, sensational.
It's a great kick, finding grass, splitting between winger and fullback. Now Malta looking to catch the Latin Heat offside.
The old ankle tap always gets them.
Carlo Cassar playing the ball there. Got a little offload at the back. Alex Finnegan with ball in hand. Malta feeling the pressure, with Latin Heat really condensing their defensive efforts here, as Lachlan Chandler puts his hand up for a run.
What's this now? This is the fifth and last, and they've only made 10 metres.
It's tackle 5, but Chandler's been injured in that play. The right-hand centre, he's come in midfield for a run to take some pressure off his forwards. It was a good charge. He picked up a bit of a knock, but it's coincided with half-time, Daniel.
Yeah, it has. That was a good hit out this half. Have both teams got on the board this time around?
We've had points by both teams.
Yeah, incredible. It's a tight game. It's only been a try each apiece.
So as we have a short break at the halfway point, Daniel, what do you think coach of Latin Heat will be saying as they huddle here?
Ball possession is of key importance in every single game, and there's no doubt that Freddie's out there right now talking to his men and letting them know that they need to keep that ball in their possession. They need to keep going forward, because that's the only way that they're going to get the points on the board. At the moment, their defence has been quite good, I believe. We saw it get a bit scrappy when it got towards their try line, but if they prevent it from getting there, and you see Malta still making these mistakes, it's gonna actually help them. So
I think the enthusiasm from Latin Heat in defence has really enabled them to get good ball, good territory. For Malta, I think coach will be saying players need to be looking to run off Caleb Savage, the halfback, because when he takes that line on, he beats the first player. He's got his hands out, looking for the offload, and so it's a matter of them backing up and getting themselves into space.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more there, Sean. So we're at halftime now. I'd like to take the time to actually thank our sponsors, Guzman and Gomez. So this is the Guzman and Gomez Latin Heat Under-19s team. They have over 139 stores across Australia, opening up in the USA very recently, and they're going from strength to strength, just like this Latin Heat side. We also have Dr. Pickles, tattoo aftercare product specialists. We'd like to thank them for coming on board over the last couple of years. And we also have Shield Security Services, an organisation that's been very successful and has been a mainstay sponsor for Latin Heat for quite some time. So thank you to those key sponsors.
So stay tuned as we look to get away for the second half very shortly.
No, just you got a pen and paper, just write it down.
I know we saw one player, but I assume there was a group. Okay. Well, with that, I need to verify that and you have to list the players with the numbers on it. Well, yeah. That's by decision. If you go by that, it's just one decision. So then if you go on to the world,
And welcome back to Hillier Oval in Liverpool as we look to get underway for the second half here between the Malta Knights and Latin Heat. It's been a closely fought match so far, with defence really being key for these two sides. It is the under-19s. This match coming after the under-16s game, which was won by Malta. As Savage looks to get us underway here, the halfback for Malta Knights. The kick taken by Morrissey. Finding Byrne with a strong charge. Uzabega coming to Morrissey. Morrissey finding one of his front row forwards there. Looks like Luis Sevilla, who's hit in a huge tackle, but gets up, plays the ball to his credit, as Malta pushing back through Savage and Kassar. Latin Heat doing tough here. Coming right, short ball. There's some space, but it looked like a shoulder charge coming through there. But the referee said no, it's just a ball and all tackle. As the ball's come free, it's gone into touch, and it'll be a scrum feed to the Malta Knights. So we had a few plays there with Latin Heat under a bit of heat, you could say. A bit of trouble there for their attacking moves. And the defence, well, it seems that the Malta coach would have said to the boys at half-time, you need to be hitting and sticking with your tackling efforts, because that's what they've done. As Savage looking to feed the ball. It's out through Dylan Williams.
So scores,
huge hit by Morrissey.
Scores at the moment are 6-0 to Malta. Strong performance in that first half by both teams.
As Azzopardi with another strong charge. Plays the ball 30 metres out. Coming left through Cherry. Cherry finds another one of his front rowers. Williams coming right to Cherry. Cherry takes the line on, but he's wrapped up by Byrne. Williams coming left to Camilleri. Strong charge by number 8. Again, it's Byrne with the headgear, doing a lot of defensive work. As Williams runs himself, finds Camilleri again.
Just held up, calling it back 10 metres. 5th and last, it seems.
We've got a changeover.
Ooh. Not bad.
So Dylan Williams there, number 13 for Malta, really getting involved when Luke Cherry was taken out of action there, the hooker. Coming in there, Williams, to get his hands on the ball and linking up a couple of times there with Camilleri, which is good to see. Damaging work there, but Latin Heat with the defensive effort, they're able to keep them out. Good hit by Azapati. Morrissey
linking up with Villa Gomez once again.
Uzabega coming right to Morrissey. Goes for the long kick. It should be taken quite comfortably there by Alex Finnegan. Puts at the left fend.
Tackled there by number 19.
Kassar, strong charge.
It was still referred to as the gun, right?
As Williams in it, acting half again. Kassar coming right, finds Savage. Savage links up with Dominic Azapati in 16, I believe. Unders ball there from Cherry. Williams finds Savage again along the ground. Oh, but we've got a little knock on there from Kyle Houghton. It was a nice little piece of play there from Malta, again with the grubber kick option. With these testing conditions, we've got a little bit of moisture on the grass from the light showers that we've had this afternoon. But he couldn't regather the ball there, so it'll be a scrum to Latin Heat.
Yeah, look, I think Latin Heat at the moment, they're a little bit on the back foot here with the repeat sets that are going against them and the loose carries that they've had. So this, hopefully, if they can hold on to it, it's going to give them the breather that they need and give them the field position to get out of that danger zone.
So with Maldonado feeding the ball and Morrissey playing lock, he picks the ball up and we've got a movement to the left-hand side of the field. Just changing things up a little bit, which is good to see. It's making Malta probably second-guess themselves in defence there, with Morrissey there featuring at the back of the scrum. Again, Latin Heat seem to have options all over the park. Another strong charge from Latin Heat as they cross the halfway line.
Good hit out from our lock there for Latin Heat.
Catraleo with another strong charge. He plays the ball. Uzabega comes left, finds Morrissey. Morrissey with a little chip over the top. We've got numbers there, but it's well handled.
It's a loose carry right there. Villa Gomez has regathered.
So Ryan Zera put himself in good position there to take that ball, but again, the defensive effort was very strong. We had, I guess, the likes of Villa Gomez really thundering down there, putting pressure on the winger. I wouldn't like to see that if I was playing as a wing, looking up and seeing a really strong Villa Gomez, staring down at me.
Absolutely. When you got Latin America's David Clemmer running towards you, mate, it's a sight for sore eyes.
So with Villa Gomez, the Latin Heats, or Latin America's David Clemmer, and then you've got the gun on the right-hand side. It's just dangerous anywhere on the field. As the gun, he's over. What a great line.
Nice one.
Splits the defence, touches down for 4 points, gets up and kicks the ball to celebrate, and he's surrounded by 4 of his teammates, and aren't they happy for him?
That takes us to 6-4. So Alex Vertisano, number 19, is the try scorer there, a.k.a. the gun. Break that play down for us, Sean. What did you see happen there that was that led to that try being scored?
Well, again, when it comes to the Malta defence, with danger players for Latin Heat on both left and right side of the pitch, it's very difficult and they're very uncomfortable when they're defending on their own goal line. So we had the rushing defence there that came up probably too quick, okay? And then all it was a simple numbers game. And it was, in fact, the gun who was able to get himself into space, split between two defenders that could not react in time. So it was just simply catch and a really strong charge through that hole. I guess what I'm seeing here is that the Latin Heat just seem to be hitting the gaps with a bit more pace. That's really been able to, I guess, puncture the defensive efforts of Malta.
Yeah. You can really start to see that happen. And it's interesting to see, right? Because when both teams get into their danger zone, you start to see that rush play, and I wonder if that's just a consequence of where they're at this point in the game. Some players, especially in the props, start to feel overtired, and you start to see those backs actually shoot up as opposed to staying in line as a group.
As we watch that conversion attempt go to the left and be unsuccessful, I think touching on that point, Daniel, we've just seen two changes made by Malta. So we've got two players that have just come off for a spell. It looks, in fact, like it is Dominic Azzopardi who's coming off for a break, who was one of those replacements, along with Kyle Houghton. So those guys have come on. They did a good job in attack with some dangerous runs, but when it comes to defence, perhaps the coach is looking for some stability now.
Yeah. Which is a fair enough call, given the power in attack that Latin Heat has provided in the last few minutes. So we've had quite a turnout here today. It looks like I can probably count more than 200 people sitting here.
So I think it's
here in front of us.
Safe to say there's at least a few hundred here that have made their efforts down for the early games, and that crowd should only continue to build as we edge closer to the main game. As play's underway, Morrissey takes the ball, finds Byrne. He's met by strong defensive efforts there by Malta. Uzabega playing on the left-hand edge now. Linking up with your man, Villa Gomez. As Uzabega comes back right now, using his forwards. The Malta defence up to the challenge so far. Uzabega comes right, finds Maldonado.
Albert Matuk with the ball right now. That's solid Malta defence, rushing up to meet him. They understand he's a bit of a threat with the speed he has on him.
Maldonado again. It's a high kick, well taken there by Malta. And a big don't argue there.
You love to see that in a game, don't you? It's those heavy hits that actually make for the action.
I think it just shows that Josh Agius needs to get a little bit more involved if that charge is anything to go by in terms of his game.
Absolutely. It's channeling a bit of Mr. Jackson, number 8 from the under-16s there, isn't he?
As Ryan Zerab gets involved from the wing. Luke Cherry looking to his options, linking up with his forwards now. Settling down, but Morrissey's up to the challenge. The halfback again involved in defence. He's not afraid to get his head in all sorts of places, is he?
He's had a hand in almost every single tackle this set.
As Savage fakes left, comes right for the crossfield kick. Well taken there by the Latin Heat winger.
Under substantial pressure there. There were at least 5 guys around him.
I think that was Garcia Chrome there on the left wing. As Azzopardi wraps up the Latin Heat player here.
Villa Gomez with the ball. Good run up.
Quick play the ball as well. Uzabega
Byrne
coming right, finds Byrne, as you say, Daniel. The very tall and lanky centre come prop. With options either side. Uzabega comes right. He finds Maldonado. Maldonado
Matuk with the ball.
linking up with Matuk.
Seeing if he can offload. Malta pushing hard in defence.
Uzabega finding Maldonado. Gets the torpedo punt downfield. But it's well handled by Ryan Zerab. And a penalty is given away. So inside the 10 metres was the call. So the Latin Heat outside backs need to make sure they're onside when it comes to that 5th tackle option there.
Absolutely. Good call from the ref there. He was at least a couple of metres off. Look, it's when you're out there, the pressure's on. You actually want to make sure that you back up for your teammates. And that's exactly what he was trying to do. It's just a shame there that he actually got in front of the kicker.
As Savage finds touch from that penalty. And Ryan Zerab having to do the long walk down the other end of the pitch to get the ball.
It's interesting to see, interesting fact about our fullback for Latin Heat, John Raya Liva. He's actually got a bit of Chilean heritage in him. And he's today travelled all the way from Western Australia.
It's a huge effort from the fullback to come all the way from WA. But it shows again what it means to these players to be able to represent their heritage, doesn't it?
Absolutely, right. So, you know, understand he only flew in a couple of days ago, so the fact that he's adjusted and, you know, the fact that he's actually meshed well with the team and he's making a big difference is a testament to the sort of footy player he is, right?
As Gretsch, with the loose ball picked up, as a party, offloaded the ball but hit the deck. Gretsch has picked it up. He's made an extra 20 metres. As Malta crashes over between the uprights, smacks the ball down, the referee points to the spot and says 4 points Malta. So with Savage looking to line up the kick. Any easy conversion you'd think, Daniel, here?
Yeah, so we're 10-4 at the moment. Can Malta make it 12?
Savage steps in, hits it cleanly, and it's another 2 points, extending that score to 12.
Latin Heat really needs to come back here and put the pressure on. They need to force those errors from Malta, or at least get them to hand over that ball at the end of those actual sets, for them to get that possession and get downfield and actually make a difference and score those points. Pressure's on now because Malta's going to come back from that big confidence booster and try to make that a third try.
I think it's really important here as well that for Morrissey, that we know he's not afraid to get his hands dirty when it comes to defence, but for him to conserve a bit of energy so then he can call the shots when they get into good ball territory, I think is very important. Yeah.
Like you said, he made quite a few tackles a few sets ago, and that will obviously take the air out of any sort of halfback playing at his level. So we just need to see him monitor himself carefully and make sure that he can come back and make those big plays that we need him for.
As Gat plays the ball for Cherry to Savage with
big
an
tackle
underscore.
there
Great
by Daniel.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Daniel. It was Josh Agius again with the run. He's a strong runner of the ball. We need to see more of that. As Morrissey again making tackles. He's helped by Villagomez. As Cherry comes right. He finds Gretsch. Gretsch to Baragri, who finds the winger.
Very close to the edge there.
It's Ryan Zerab again. And they're calling for a potential injury here to Ryan Zerab, who did very well to take the ball, staying in the field of play, but he was met by some very strong defence.
It's not a good sign when you have the opposition waving in the trainer. Hopefully this isn't a bad injury and he can still live to play another week next week, club footy.
Both games so far have been played in very good spirits, and I think that passage of play just there further highlights that there was a known injury there by Latin Heat to one of the Malta players, and they straight away got off the player, put their hand up to the referee and said he needs a bit of help.
Yeah, Yeah, it's always a good sign, right? That's what footy's all about. You know, at the end of the day, yeah, you're playing against each other, but at the end of the day, we're all brothers, just playing the same sport, trying to have fun. So while we wait for our play to resume, I'd like to call out our sponsors once again, Guzman and Gomez, Dr. Pickles Tattoo Aftercare Products, and Shield Security from the Latin Heat side. Also like to call out a big thank you to All Saints Liverpool, Charlie and the crew here, for giving us a beautiful field to play on. You can hear the ambulance in the background, hopefully not for the player that's injured.
I think just coincidence there. We've got a stoppage for an injury as an ambulance sails past. We've also had a substitution there with the lock, Isaiah Catroleo coming on again. He was very strong in the first half, and it's good to see him getting some more minutes. What do you think he really brings to this team?
I think what it brings to the team is that senior leadership. He's actually played at quite a good level, both here in Australia and especially playing for the Chile World Cup qualifier squad. He's actually brought that seniority that we need and that leadership that the Latin Heat side needs. He's played, you know, even though he's only 19, he's been involved with us for at least 5 years. So, you know, he's a mainstay that I think makes a big difference to the side.
As play resumes, it is the last tackle as Savage goes for the crossfield bomb. It's not too deep a kick, and it's knocked on there by Carlo Cassar, number 4. So it should be a simple turnover, which is what the referee signals. So we'll have a change of possession. Latin Heat with the ball, 25 metres out from their own line. It looks like Malta's also brought on Ethan Fuentealbo as well in number 15. There's another one of these replacement forwards who showed some really strong signs when he got some minutes in the first half. As play resumes, Uzabega comes left, finds the lock forward as we mentioned in Catroleo. To Morrissey. Dummies to the underball and finds his fullback, Araya Aliana. Byrne overruns the ball and it's taken by the winger for a scampering run. Morrissey in an acting half. Comes right for a strong run there. In fact, that's number 9, Dylan Concha Attard, who's on the field. Maldonado shifts to the fullback, Araya Lana.
Dylan actually backed up from under 16, so he's playing up 3 years at the moment.
Wow. As Byrne runs through as a decoy, Maldonado with the midfield bomb. It's chastened by Morrissey, putting pressure on Malta, and it should be a knock on there by Malta. And in fact, it's not just a knock on, but then Malta's also in front of the original infringement, touched the ball, so it'll be a penalty to Latin Heat. Great kick pressure there.
Absolutely, the number 7 there, David Morrissey.
Yeah. I mean, he was the only one really chasing the ball there.
But who else would you want chasing the ball at this point in the game? It's really good to see him conserve himself and actually save some of that energy for that great kick chase.
And we're seeing what Maldonado can do as well. The 5'8" there, great little kick there. Midfield bomb put Malta under pressure as play resumes here. Uzabega.
Bit of talking back to the ref there. Got to watch that.
Yeah, I think it's just frustration there. As Morrissey.
Handoff by Villa Gomez.
Morrissey's well wrapped up there by Anthony Camilleri. Plays the ball.
Catriero. They're really testing this Malta defence at the moment.
As Byrne, he's met in a strong tackle. Uzabega comes right. Goes himself. He gets over. Is the ball down? We're standing by. No, he's just short. He's about half a metre short of the line. As the markers moved way too early there. An infringement there, scuppering the opportunity there for Latin Heat to get the ball away. Uzabega looking for a quick tap, but the referee said, no, wait for me to tell you where the mark is.
Time for the guys to regather here and set these plays up. Daniel Byrne taking a run up.
Uzabega with numbers either side. He goes right to Conchartard. Plays the ball. Uzabega goes left. Finds Catroleo, who gets it out to Morrissey. Morrissey shifts to Villagomez. He stretches out, but he's pushed back in strong defence by Malta. Villagomez looking for a clean play of the ball. Finds, that's an unfortunate play there. Talk us through that one there, Daniel.
Villa Gomez actually did quite a good run on that left edge. Managed to get the ball out before getting tackled, but then unfortunately Daniel Byrne, saw the try line, went too anxiously for it, and didn't see the ball coming his way. And that's a typical fumble that you see there. He's been quite good and quite stable throughout the whole game. Just a little bit of a hiccup there. Hopefully he learns off the back of that one and comes back stronger.
I think Byrne was caught in two minds, knowing whether he was a decoy or whether he was meant to take that ball there. As Malta marches downfield, strong defence nonetheless by Latin Heat, as Finnegan in acting half gets the ball to Savage. Savage, he turns it under, finding the replacement in 19. As Cherry to Savage. Savage finds Camilleri. Wrapped up by Byrne. Numbers either side. Cherry comes left. Show and go. Takes the line on himself. Baragri takes off from dummy half. He finds Savage, the halfback. He's backing up. Simple play there by Malta. The fullback, Mitchell Baragri, coming in to get his hands on the ball. Cherry was taken in the previous play, so there was no standard hooker there. Baragri's come in from fullback into that acting half role. Scooted out from dummy half. He knows that Savage is on his left, calling for the ball. Great pass. Malta touches down.
That link up for the players there was sensational. They actually spotted those gaps and went for them. The ball through the hands at the moment is incredible on the Malta side, especially when they get to this attacking zone here, the dangerous zone, where Latin Heat, we've obviously seen in the past, has had some troubles trying to plug the gaps.
So the score pushes out to 16 points.
16-4 with the conversion to come.
Just a reminder to all those tuning in at home thanks to Bar TV that it's not too late to get on down here to Helia Oval in Liverpool if you're in the area. The weather's holding off. We don't have any rain. It's a very light breeze. It's actually really comfortable weather, and it's just fantastic weather for football.
And if you're Latin American, the Latin American food is cooking at the moment. We've got the Latin Corners Cafe here, serving the latest in terms of empanadas, arepas, whatever you'd like to eat here. Even Spanish-style coffee, which is quite sensational. I had some just the other day when I saw them at the markets, and I really dug what they had to offer.
As Savage moves in, slots the kick, extending that score to 18 points to 4, Malta. We just had the players from the next match, the main game as we call it, walk past us, and the jerseys.
They look sensational, don't they?
Sensational. I don't think I've seen a better jersey than what we've seen here today.
Yeah.
If I am a fan of Latin American Rugby League, of Peru specifically, or Brazil, or Malta, I'd be getting myself some merchandise for sure.
Absolutely, and when you look at When you look at those jerseys, the Peru Rugby League is actually paying homage to that soccer side jersey at the moment, because the Peru national soccer side looks very similar with that red stripe going down the middle that way.
So as Malta resumes through Cherry, the number 9, he's wrapped up
By the gun.
by the gun, the ever-present gun. Scout plays the ball. Coming left to Savage. Savage with numbers. He finds the replacement forward in 19. Back to Gat, who's backing up nicely. Looking to get the offload away, but he's pushed back. Some strong defence there by Morrissey. As Cherry comes left to Savage. Savage with the little kick over the top. He finds the grass, but it's knocked back by who? Who was it? It's the gun. He's everywhere.
Not only scoring tries, he's saving them, mate. That's what you like to see in a player.
He didn't want to take any risks there. He just put the fist out, knocked the ball back over the dead ball line, conceding the goal line dropout rather than conceding any further points.
Sensible decision right there. Solid, level-headed footballer.
As Morrissey with the goal line dropout.
Tricky kick, making them nervous. That was a bit of a close call there.
A dubious pick-up, but the referee said it was backwards.
An offload there, back to Savage.
As Savage to Kassar. Kassar takes the Latin defence on. He's got some strong upper body strength, Kassar. As Gat, waiting for the play the ball.
Trying to sneak over.
Goes himself.
Has he?
And he snuck in, and he's got the ball down for another try. It'll be 22 points to 4 as we see Corey Gatt, who's been very involved in the last 5 minutes or so. He had Savage calling for the ball on the right-hand side, but he decided to take a run himself, coming right, ducking under a player, and then squeezing on the left-hand side there.
What do you think we're starting to see here, Sean, from the Latin Heat side, conceding 2 tries in the space of about 10 minutes?
I think it's the enthusiasm in defence. They were showing they were really up to the challenge, and they were putting a lot of their efforts into their line speed as well as the contact. And now it seems that it's down to fitness. Some of those players that were really standing out in the first half are starting to fade a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if the coach looks to make some changes, especially in the middle of the field. But surprisingly, we're seeing that it's a little different to the earlier game, that we're seeing more tries scored on the edges. So I'm not sure whether it's the middlemen that are really, I guess, the weak link here. I think in terms of fitness levels, it might be the back rows and the fringe players. Yeah,
I think that's a very good assessment of where things are at the moment, mate, and probably a sign that these guys need to actually go a bit harder in the pre-season to bring back those fitness levels, especially after the long layover since the big dance and the start of the season.
So we stand by for Savage to take his shot at goal, looking to extend the score to 24 points to 4. Steps in. He's hit it cleanly, but it's just to the left-hand side of the posts, and the touch judges wave away that kick is unsuccessful. So the score will stand at 22 points to 4.
We're nearing the end of this game now. I think there's probably only about 10 minutes to go, if that.
Yeah, there wouldn't be much time left at all.
So it's a big deficit that Latin Heat would need to make up at this point to have any chance of drawing or even taking this game out.
I think at this point it's just a matter of playing out the remaining minutes of this game, showing respect to the game first and foremost, but also to the coaching staff and the fellow players here that they don't concede any further points.
Yep. I think we're on the same page there.
As it's a nice unders ball there, finding Marley Castle, but we've got...
There's a scuffle in the background.
We don't like to see this, but it's fair to say that it's been a strong and physical match. And for some of these players, at this point in the game, when the scoreline's not going your way, there can be a little niggle that comes into the game. But we don't like to see it. It's not what the earlier game was about, and it hasn't been about that at all in this game up until this point. And I think it's just fair to say that both teams, both sets of players, are getting a little tired as the game goes on.
Both players, they get tired. The losing side obviously is a bit more sensitive when it comes to being behind, and the winning side actually tries to take advantage of that. So you see that back and forth in terms of trash talk. It does happen from time to time, but obviously at this point in the game, it does make a bigger difference.
So we're seeing one of the Malta players being sent for 10 minutes to the sin bin, and it looks like Uzabega will also be called, and he'll also be marched for 10 minutes. So both teams down to 12 men for the remainder of this match. I think the referee's handled that quite well. He said it was a minor scuffle, but we don't want to see that, so you guys can both go and have an early shower.
Exactly. Let them cool down and live to play another day.
So Savage with the kick for touch as the ball crosses the sideline, 45 metres out from the Malta try line. As Kassar with the tap restart takes on the defence himself. And it's a strong carry. He's got quite some strong upper body. He's got upper body strength, doesn't he, Kassar?
He does. I've seen him push off quite a few players this afternoon.
As Camilleri as well with a strong charge. Cherry out of dummy half. He's coming right. He's linking up with Azapati, who doesn't want it.
Seeing Malta actually play a bit more risky this second half, especially with the scoreline where it's at. They're happy to take those risks and see what happens.
As Savage takes the line on again. This is a common thing we've seen, isn't it, Daniel? As Savage, he stretches out, he crosses the try line, and he bangs the ball down for another 4-pointer.
Yeah, too strong for Latin Heat right there. Just got over the line very quickly. It was all on his own. Moved past probably close to 3 players, including Villa Gomez.
So analysing the last 2 or 3 minutes of play, we've seen Latin Heat concede a try, and then when they've had to back up with a bit of defence, a bit of ill discipline creep in, which resulted in 2 players being sent to the sin bin. Malta kicking for touch, marching downfield, and it's that man, Savage, playing as the halfback, who has taken the line on consistently, and he's made the Latin Heat team quite nervous throughout this game. He beats the first player, and he's just beats them for pace.
That send-off that we had a few minutes ago, I think that was a bit of a watershed moment, and it's up to either side to step up after that point and actually have a show of force. Looks like Malta's actually stepped up to the occasion here and actually put the points on. So it'll be interesting to see how Latin Heat responds off the back of this. If we're going to see more of the same here in terms of the points being piled on in the back half of this game, or if they actually try to hold them out.
And it was that opening run from Kassar after the tap restart where he beat off the first 2 defensive efforts that really set the tone for that set. So really it shows that for the Latin Heat boys, they really need to stay strong, hold firm and close out this match, showing that there's something they can build on.
Absolutely. And there is something massive that they can build on at the moment. I mean, they know they've got it. It's just come down to, I think, a matter of fitness in this second half and composure.
As the flags
And that's a wrap.
are waved away, the referee calls full time.
Yeah.
So Daniel, we've seen another victory by Malta here in the second match of today. And now we'll stand by for the main game, which will feature Peru and Brazil. So please, don't go anywhere. Tune in, Bar TV, for the main game. Peru, Brazil.
Thanks, everyone.